This is Bertrand Hamill with Profitable Books. This is a poem that is released in Thoughts Towards the Profitable and is also included in the Profitable Anthology. It is entitled Love. Beginning. Often I hear the question, what is love? Is it emotional? If so, isn't the heart uncontrollable? To say the word, at first sweet it is heard. But if it's not true, what good is it to you? Emotions are treacherous, but Christ defined love, in so much towards us, and gave himself for us. As to death he went, for each other we are spent. At times it's not enjoyable, when we find each other correctable. How great is a friend that corrects me from wrong before the end. The world says that love is an emotional lust, but to be unselfish it is a must. For God, who is love, gave himself. So this is love, that towards one another's needs, giving oneself. This concludes the poem, and it is indexed with scriptures. Ephesians 4:2, with all lowliness and meekness, with longsuffering, forbearing one another in love. 1 Corinthians 4:21, what will ye? Shall I come unto you with a rod or in love, in the spirit of meekness? Galatians 6:1, brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Titus 1:13, this witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. Ecclesiastes 7:5, it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise, than for a man to hear the song of fools. Proverbs 13:24, he that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. Proverbs 3:11-12, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth he correcteth, even as the father the son in whom he delighteth. 2 Corinthians 12:15, and I will very gladly spend and be spent for you, that the more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved. Galatians 5:13, for brethren, ye have been called unto liberty, only use not the liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. Galatians 5:14, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Ephesians 5:2, and walk in love, as Christ also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling savor. James 2:8, if you fulfill the world law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, you do well. 1 John 3:18, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. John 17:17, sanctify them through thy truth, thy word is truth. John 15:12, this is my commandment, that ye love one another, as I have loved you. John 15:13, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. 1 John 4:19, we love him because he first loved us. Ephesians 5:25-26, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church, and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. 1 Thessalonians 3:12, and the Lord make you to increase and abound in love one toward another, and toward all men, even as we do toward you. 1 Corinthians 13:4-8, charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, it is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth. Charity is the same definition of love. They are synonymous. Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? That concludes this piece. Thank you for listening. I hope you find it encouraging and stimulating. I hope that you will go back to the scriptures to see if the Lord shows you concerning love. Please stay tuned for more from Profitable Books. Thank you.